Hi, do you know what my thoughts for today? And my thoughts for today take us back a couple of days to a vlog I did about the problem our Democrat friends have been having. Well, you could almost call it a political medical problem. They've been hemorrhaging. And what have they been hemorrhaging? They've been hemorrhaging male voters. And well, it's serious enough that they hired, well, they're spending $20 million to examine the problem and get them back, get the men to come back to the Democratic Party, vote Democrat again. And well, in that earlier vlog, I said one solution is, well, I talked to in that solution, well, in that vlog was that they keep well, attacking Trump for the economy, and the economy is actually doing well. But there's another reason, which I'll briefly touch on, which is there are a lot of what are now being called 80-20 issues in this country, issues in which 80% of the country is on one side and 20%, only 20% is on the other side. And the Democrats are consistently on the 20% side of these 20%, 80% issues. That's one problem. And the second problem is their arrogance, their smugness, their elitism. And so, well, you see it in this the problem with the 80-20 division, because the solution should be, if they are on the 20% side of an 80-20 issue, is to, this is what I thought they were doing with this, because it's not just men, but at least with this $20 million project to I don't know, examine men, well, this is the problem. What they mean when they say explore the problem or examine men or what problem, what they mean is find out what's wrong with us, that there must be something wrong with us. And that is the problem, because instead of doing some listening and finding out why 80% of the country feels one way on an issue, their response over and over again and consistently is to say, well, to explain well, actually, they don't even do that. I was going to say to explain to the people who are on the 80% side why they're wrong, but they don't even do that. Most of the time, they just tell them that they're wrong and say, you're wrong, something is wrong with you. And their whole approach to solving this problem is to say, well, how can we humor them? How can we kind of pretend, you pretend to go along with but they believe, but patiently explain to them what's wrong with them and get them to come back, as if we have a mental disease. And now I'm talking about men. You've heard that the phrase, I'm sure, toxic masculinity. So this idea that traditional masculinity, not this this kind of female feminist male masculinity that the Democrats are trying to invent, but well, simply like well, the Billy Joel song, "Don't Go Changing Just to Please Me," and, well, I love you just the way you are. Well, that's what I need to hear from the Democrats out of media. Besides saying that there are only two sexes determined by biology, and men should not be in women's sports. Those are two 80-20 issues right there. But that I'm a man, and that the Democrats, especially the Democratic women, that they love me just the way they am. And why wouldn't they? But that's another subject. And that's to me personally. But one of what the Democrats are trying to do, I mean, to show how off they are, they hired somebody to represent, I guess, the Democratic Party and reach out to men. And, well, wait till you see who they hired. I'm just going to show you a short video clip. This is the person that the Democrats have hired to, I assume they're paying her. If not, then she's doing it voluntarily. Either way, uh, make your own judgment. This is the person that the Democrats have chosen to reach out to men and bring them back. They reach out to the MAGA men, the people who like Donald Trump, who love Donald Trump, and get them to come back to the Democratic Party and vote Democrat.
I'm the person that's in charge of bringing young men back to the Democratic Party. According to Donald Trump Jr., Trump War Room, Libs of TikTok, And while none of that's actually true, every single time I saw one of y'all posting about me, I had one main thought at the top of my head. Y'all are a bunch of y'all are the ones that made it about a woman and her identity and the way that she looks. Something that y'all consistently claim the Democrats do. You don't actually give a fuck about young men. Instead, a lot of you want to talk about my weight. You're using pictures of me from about 65 pounds ago. So let me ask you this. If I lose another 65 pounds, will y'all actually raise young men's wages? Will you actually increase funding to mental health services? Or are you just going to find another way to deflect from the fact that y'all don't actually have any policy plan to help them? Y'all can keep making this into some kind of big joke of, oh yeah, let's send her to every frat house in the country. I'm not afraid to go into frat houses or to go to college campuses or to talk to Republicans because unlike y'all, I don't think that they're all shallow assholes. I think that they're actual people who can hold a conversation, but clearly, based off the way you talk about them and the way that you treat them, you think that they're dumb as shit. Well, I actually don't. So I'm going to continue to advocate for young men to get the policy agenda that they do deserve. And I'm going to continue to lose weight. And then maybe when I finally do drop that next 65 pounds, we can revisit this conversation and see if you can actually stand on business. Because this time, none of you fucking did.
That's the woman. Well, first of all, it's a woman. They chose a woman to reach out to men, which I guess is to show that. Well, I guess that's their point that you don't have to be a man to reach out to men. A woman and well, you just saw the video. What kind of woman they chose? Her attitude, how she speaks. That doesn't sound to me. Well. I don't know. Let's just listen for a second. I'm listening to hear all the men that are all the MAGA men and other men who are stampeding. I want to hear the stampeding back to the Democratic Party based on what they're seeing and hearing from this woman whom the Democrats have chosen to represent them. And well, I'm sorry, Democrats. I have to be honest. I don't hear a thing. I don't hear a thing. And that's those are my thoughts for today. Thanks for stopping by. Your thoughts always welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.